Okay, hello everyone. I'm Daryl Goodman and we have Bruce Armstrong. We're with SCTC. That's a volunteer organization sponsored through the Longmont Senior Center. It stands for Senior Computer Tech Center. So we are all about helping seniors with computing issues. So what do we have on the plate today, Bruce?
Well, we're just going to do a simple video here of something that we encounter a lot of times when people are struggling with converting from Microsoft Office products to some of the more cloud-centered products like the Google products that they have. And we're going to just give some examples with Google Docs and Google Sheets and see how that works in terms of interfacing with your Microsoft Word friends or your own computer that may use Microsoft Word, and how to transfer files back and forth. So that, first of all, there's a couple of things on our website that show the Google things that we've presented, and some of those are good introductions to the Google things and how you get a Google account. And to be able to do these things, you have to accept the fact that Google is going to store your things in the cloud, in Google Drive, as they call it. And so that's where I'm going to go first. And so I'm going to go in here to a simple way to get into this is to just come up with sign into your Google account. I'm going to sign into my
Did you share the screen, Bruce?
Oh, I didn't share the screen first. Let me go back.
This is why it takes two of us.
Yes, that's right. It takes two of us. Share the screen, and then okay, now the screen is shared. So a simple way to get into Google things is, let me get into something that gives me to Google, is to go to google.com, and then you sign into your account, whatever that Gmail address is. And up here in the upper right-hand corner is a 9-dot matrix of, if you click on it, you get a whole bunch of options, and somewhere in here, and they'll all be in different orders depending on your computer, there's one called Drive, and that's the place where you access Google Drive. And so that brings up all my drive. Over here on the left are the places you can go, your drive or shared drives, if you had any. And also in the upper left-hand corner is this little plus box that says New. And when you're in Google Drive, you can do things with that. When you click on it, you get the drop down, which gives you the opportunity to upload a file or a folder. So I'm going to show you an example first of uploading a folder. I've created a simple folder that's residing on my computer, and I'm going to upload it to my Google Drive, which is in the cloud. So I click on this, and it should bring me up a nice little thing here of, I can't even, now I got to remember where I put it.
I think it was under your SCTC folder.
Yeah, that's where I got it. And here's demo folder. And I'm going to click on that and say upload. Have to hit it twice. Down here on the right, it says it's one upload complete. So if I go into now my Google Drive here, I see now that I have a folder listed here called demo folder. And it says it was uploaded just now.
And sometimes you may have to do a screen refresh to show any new changes.
Right. But if I open that folder now, notice I've got two files in here. One is the bottom one with the blue W is a Word file, and it has the extension docx. It is in Word format. The other file happens to be an Excel file, the one with the green X up here, and it's a XLSX file. And when you upload them, you can keep them in that format on your Google Drive if you like, or you can, let me see how to do that. When you right click on it, I've got several options. I can open it with Google Docs. I can download it, or I can, which would, I can download it back to my computer when I get done. Or let's say open it with Google Docs. Okay, it's going to open that file just as if it were in Microsoft Word, because it's in the same format. And if you look up here in the upper left-hand corner, it's given it the same name, and it still shows Microsoft Word format. Now to go to the other way, suppose I want to send this to someone, I can now go over here to the share button on the upper right-hand corner and share it with somebody just as a Microsoft Word document. So you can keep it still in Microsoft Word format, or you can go over here to the toolbar in File, and I can say, save as Google Docs. And what that does, and I'll just show you, I'll click on it, and I've saved it as Google Docs. And if I go back to the tab that says that folder, wait a minute.
Refresh the screen.
Oh, refresh the screen. Okay, good point. Okay, now I have one. I still have the docx file, but now I have another one that instead of having a W, it has little dashed lines up there, but that means it's in Google Docs format. So now I can edit it in either one. The same holds true for if I pull up an Excel file, it's going, I double clicked on it, which is going to force it to open in Google Sheets. And this is just sort of a fake spreadsheet that I have. But you got the same things. It says it's in XLSX format. I can share it in that format. And under the File tab, I can also save it as Google Sheets, which if I do that, it says I've saved it in Google Sheets. And if I go back to the folder and refresh it, as Daryl says, I should get that extra file. And it comes up now with a different format for the Google Sheets format. This works just the same for any of the Microsoft Office products. The other one that I use quite often is PowerPoint. Google also has their slides version, and you can do the same thing. So that's a basic thing. Now, just to show you, now if I say, okay, I want to take this file, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to download it. Now down here in the lower left is where all my downloads go. So it says a copy of test.xlsx. It sent it down. So if I go back to my computer, to my file explorer, and I go into downloads, here is that file. So I can move files back and forth in either format. I know that I say in either format. You can move them into other formats. If you cannot download a file in Google's format, so you can't download a file in Google Docs to your computer. However, you can, let me get back to that thing. Okay, here we are. If we're back in Google Drive, I can take that file and I can, where is it?
Are you looking for the make available
Yeah,
offline? That would be
offline.
on the Google format.
Oh, okay, on the Google format. That's right. Okay. Uh, make a copy download. Is it under the download? Nope.
Now, we talked about this the other day. I think you have to somewhere enable that feature. So
Yeah, well, that's another thing that
that may be a topic for another
yeah, for
discussion.
another one, it's a more advanced thing if you want to make it available on your local machine. But that's one thing, another thing you can do with this. Is there anything before I'm going to stop sharing and maybe we can let Daryl ask me some questions maybe and see if he has anything left over that's missing.
Well, I think that covers the basics. I would point out, just like with other things on your computer, there's always more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. So we showed just some of the methods of copying files or folders in. You can also utilize drag and drop and those sort of techniques. But I think we showed you the basic one that you should be able to remember. Um,
The trick to this is that you can work with people who are using Microsoft products and interchangeably with your Google Docs or Google Sheets or something like that. It's they're absolutely interchangeable. You don't lose any data or anything like that that I've ever discovered.
not in the documents and spreadsheets I've worked with, and I would offer that that's probably true for most of the senior clients that we work with.
And another benefit, just to throw out there, and there are some people who have reservations about using cloud services, but Google does give you 15 gigabytes free. I believe that they're really secure in keeping other people out of your stuff. And also, the benefit is that as opposed to Microsoft products, you store your documents on your computer. If you're away from your computer, you can't access those files easily unless you've done some other things. However, if you've used Google Drive to store your documents or your spreadsheets, they're available from any device as long as you can get into the internet. So if you're sitting there with someone at coffee and you want to pull it up on your mobile device, your iPad, your Android phone, your iPhone, whatever the case may be, it's available on that Google Drive.
And I think, of course, the main point is Google set of products are free. And the Office products from Microsoft, you have a choice of either Office 365, which is a yearly fee, which is, I think, $60 to $90, somewhere in that range. And now you can buy a 2021 version of Office to load on your computer. But again, that's a one-time cost. So the Google products are free. So I think that's something that applies, in my opinion, to a lot of our senior clients.
Also, another thing that Microsoft has introduced an online version of their Office products, but they're constantly badgering you to buy the 365 the whole time. And it is a stripped down version. It does not have all of the functions and features that you would get in the full purchased version.
And as Bruce mentioned earlier on our website, and I'll give you a short URL that hopefully you could write down and be able to go to our website. It's B as boy, IT period LY / SCTC dash home. So that's our website. You'll find all kinds of additional training material there on topics such as Google Docs and Sheets and others.
Well, that pretty much does it for this one, I think.
All right. We'll be back with other videos in the future. Thanks for joining.